Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about my Smart Travel bike. If you've been following my channel, I got this bike off Amazon back in July, and I've been driving it throughout the summer, and now we're into basically winter conditions, and that's where my channel is going to pick up is winter conditions with the Smart Travel bike. So you get a better picture of the brand. Now you're probably asking yourself, this video is dark. Why are you doing it in the middle of the dark? Well, it's always dark pretty much in Vermont this time of year. Granted, I could probably done this a few hours earlier and we would have had sunlight. Today was an overcast day. So I said, let's just do the video against the holiday lights in the dark. Yeah, it's crazy in Vermont here. The sun goes down like 5:30, 6 p.m. It's nuts. Okay, let's talk about cold conditions with this bike. Granted, keep this in mind, I don't put my bike in the house, so it's in the cold conditions all the time, and the battery is. I charge my bike over there underneath the cowling on my deck, and the charging system is outdoors, the battery's outdoors, so it's never, I'm not warming the bike up. And that's very important with what I'm about to tell you. Is I'm getting about 50% of the distance shaved off because of the cold conditions. Meaning that when I was saying I was getting 35 to 40 miles out of one charge on Pedal Assist 5, with me occasionally pedaling or when I'm pedaling, that was giving me 35 to 40 miles. I am now seeing barely 15 to 20 miles on a cold battery. And today it's 32 degrees. And yesterday it was 34 degrees. And it was true for both days. I've put on an additional 42 miles since I last did a video on my channel. So I'm at 1,042. And the miles that I've put on, I took a break from riding the bike there for a week or two because I was doing a food shelf donation thing for a charity, for my charity. And so I just wasn't able to get on the bike. Well, I've now gotten back on the bike, and it's in cold conditions, and that's what I'm finding. What's going on with the battery is it's only giving me about 50%, maybe 60%, depending on how much pedaling I'm doing. Because the more pedal you do, the less battery consumption you do. Now, my thoughts are if you take your battery, the bike can stay cold. You can leave the bike outdoors. But if you took the battery in your house and charged it in the house and the battery was warm and you charged it in a warmer environment, I don't think that you'd see that much problem getting the maximum distance. I don't think the coldness of the physical bike is the issue. It's the coldness of the battery, leaving it outside, charging it outside. It's never getting warm. It's cold. So I'm going to, moving forward, bring the battery into a warming environment. Now, I have hesitations about bringing the battery into my house, only because it's such a huge battery, and I have seen the 1 in a million chance that they catch on fire, and I really just don't want the thing in my house. But I do have a warmer environment that I could put the battery in my garage, where I'll be able to charge it, and I'll be able to figure out what the lowest temperature it gets in the garage. And in my future video, I'll be able to tell you, yes, if you keep the battery warm, you'll get the maximum, or you'll get this. But currently, if you keep the battery cold at all times and it's charged to the top, it's totally 100% charged. As you can see, currently it's 100% charged. Now, if I took this on my small little loop around my island, the battery would be dead in no time. I know in the summertime how the complete circuit I could do around my island, and I was just rolling into getting to the house when the battery is pretty much on its back end dead. And now that same route, I get about halfway. I get about a quarter of the way. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go back and go back the route I came. And then I'm just rolling in the house with barely enough battery. All right, I hope that makes sense. Thank you for joining me, and this has been the Tarkus Zone.